Hello there people, and welcome back to another video of the One Killer's battle reports. I realize it's been quite a while, and I think I said before that I wanted to try and do more videos, and then I didn't do more videos. So this time we're gonna try again. This time, I thought I want to do a three-step video here about the tournament. I join every single time it's up. It's the online tournament Cripple Ripple, and I'm hoping that I can get myself together and do the three games battle reports here. So here's the first game. Let's just jump right into it. This is my first game here, and as you can see here, it's against John Duck. Plays the dwarfs. I'm playing the orcs and goblins here, and this is before the update, the latest update of the orcs and goblins here. This is the latest update, and before the latest update here. So hopefully, in the next game, we will be allowed to change our list. Hopefully, and hopefully I can bring some of the new funny tools that's been released here. I really want to try the great green, what it's called, the big one, the big great clean one, whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it. But I really want to try that one out, and I want to try Gnashers out, and what else? Yes, and I want to leave this orc clone at home, and hopefully I can replace them with 2x20 orc Gnashers, which I think would be awesome. So that's my idea. That's my ideas. But until then, and also I want to try out the new Iron Orcs with just the big bad boss. Like they will get the head basher trophy banner combined with the Orc Lord in there, and like just a big nasty unit. I don't know if I will do it in this tournament. But at some point I will definitely try it out, just for fun. I'm not sure it's strong, because it's a lot of point putting into a unit that can't really move around. But anyway, let's talk about the game we have at hand here. So we're playing Dawn Assault and Breakthrough. And if you have a look at my list here, I think I just if you go through the characters here, Iron Orc Loner, you know, the standard guy. And then we have I was really not sure how to build my character list here. I recently have been trying out the triple mage orc shaman thing, where you have 3 spells that modifies to wound rolls. But I decided I wanted to have a piracy mage here instead, because I felt like in some matchup where I want to play defensive, I felt like if I didn't have pyromancy, I will lose the ranged battle here. But with pyromancy, I feel like I'm able to hit a decent punch both from long distance, and obviously due to having some really strong combat units, I'm also able to fight in combat. So it's like a very overall general list, I would call it. So I went for pyromancy. I guess you could also go with terminology, whatever it's called, because then you get the command and you still get Hand of Heaven, which is also really decent, and you still get the what's called, the one that can debuff debuff your opponent's strength or armor. But anyway, I chose to go with pyromancy this game here, also because just to kill small unit of strong elves, so you can do a lot of fireballs. Yeah, I don't know if this is the right choice. This is what I went with. And then I have the Orc Shaman here because I want to have Awaken the Beast to boost off. It's I'm not gonna lie, playing Feral Orcs, it's pretty rough not to have any AP. So I wanted to have my Apprentice Wizard here to boost their AP just a little bit at times. Next up we have my Orc Warlord here, Tribe Leader and Orc Horde. 2+ armor save with a 4+ of regeneration, and of course the Omen of the Apocalypse. I tried out a different kind of builds with this guy here. 1+ revolvable and a minor magical weapon. But at the end, I just really like the Omen of the Apocalypse because it helps you deal this list here. It helps this list here deal with things that it has trouble to deal with already, like high armor. And this guy here, then you suddenly get armor 5, AP 5, which is good, right? At max. And then your Orc Warloner, he can potentially also come up to AP 4, and so can the Iron Orcs down here. So it's so it does have some tools against high armor here. I guess it also have the veteran orcs here with AP 3 on charts and potentially combined. I guess what I'm saying is feral orcs with no AP sucks. Anyway, so the core choices. I like this core choice setup here. I haven't seen many play it, but I personally, lately I've been enjoying this matchup here. Big unit of feral orcs combined with 3x6 veteran orc marauders, going really well with skull fetties. And then it just works as chaff, decently cheap chaff, and then they're also great support units if there's something needs to flank charge something. Generally really flexible unit in core choice. I'm not sure we will, I think we will see a price increase in this somewhere along the way. Anyway, 7 trolls. Lately I've been trying out trolls instead of giants and other big monsters. I think the trolls are really, if they stay within leadership range of your general and BSB, and you don't roll and you don't fail your leadership check, then they're really strong. They're really tough, but they run a lot. They lose so many combats because the damage output is not too high, and when they lose them, so when they lose the combat, they really need to stay and they really need to be able to grind for a longer period, and sometimes the leadership checks makes you unable to do that. Then I have 16 Iron Orcs here with crossbows because, as I mentioned, I wanted to be able to shift gears. So the reason I picked up the crossbows here was because then I could decide to go into defensive position here with my Pyromancy Mage with 2 splatter artilleries and 16 crossbows, which means like I can sort of go into the I can start shooting from the distance if I want to. And lastly we have the 2 wrecking team, and then the main unit here of the head bastard triumph with 36 feral orcs combined with the general in there. And I have to say they're Frenchy, right? They have Frenchy, and it's pretty hard to play this. You're gonna fail Frenchy at least 1 or 2 times each game. And sometimes it happens at a good time, sometimes it doesn't happen at a good time. So it's fairly difficult to control. Anyway, this is my list. Very kind of standard, kind of standard, right? Nothing really fancy. My opponent, pretty standard list, I think. Like the 3 really strong characters, combined with a unit of greybeards, combined with a unit of shooting crossbow. Very standard. Very standard king general. Very standard runesmith. Fairly standard Thane. I think he's missing the whatever it's called, rune of retribution. I think it was like it wasn't that one, but the one that sapped you for D3 strength 4 grind or something like that. 29 grain beers, yeah, kind of. And I have to say, 28 card king guards. I mean king guards. We just take a look at their profile here. Special King's Guard, 18 points per piece. Bodyguard, plate armor shield, so 3+ save. And if you use great weapon, 4+ save. Sturdy, so you can charge for a potential of strength 7, or you can just charge with a potential of armor 3 and strength 5. 2 attacks, offensive, defensive 5, resilience and strength 4, and Aggie 2. Like let's just go and compare that with a Tego Guard. The Tego Guard is 23 points, worse stats. Gets plus, it has parry, but who needs parry if you're defensive 5? And you can even choose parry if you like. So you can even reach defensive 6. 1 less armor save, 1 less AP, except if you're using great weapons, then you have +1 AP. I mean, for 5 points less, and the starting cost is 25 points less. I mean, this is out of comparison. I think the dwarves has too cheap strong infantry at the moment. Yeah. Also, if you look at the Black Orcs, they're 2 points more, right? I get it, they have a lot more weapons, but the armor save is a lot worse than these guys, and the stats is kind of the same, right? In fact, that's 1 more AP, and that's it, right? Identical stats, yeah. And then the King's Guard have +1 more save. So I think this is really strong, right? I think this is really nasty strong. Anyway, enough whining here. So we this is what we have. And then he also had, let's back to the list building here. 28 imbalanced and imbalanced King Guards. 10 miners, 8 rangers, 8 14 guards, artillery cannon. So kind of shoot here. It's kind of standard list, right? Nothing fancy. So enough talking about the list here. Let's go right into it here. So this is the turn 1 here. So I rolled for side. So I chose to give him this house here, and we played Dawn Assault here, and it goes like this, and like, if you can see my mouse here, right, like this. So he had to split. He had to, almost certain he had to split his army between the house here. At least that was what I was trying to force him to do. And so instead, I choose the side. So he chose to deploy. He chose to deploy first for the first turn, and it sort of forced him to either go one side or the other and deploy everything in a big block. And he chose to go here, and immediately when I saw him deciding to place everything in a corner, I just decided to put everything I had in the opposite corner, and then just, I know it's a little bit boring, but just go for the objective. This is a field here. If I get enough scoring units in here, which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of, I just needed to get these 6 units down here, and then hopefully not lose too much in the process, and then I will win the objective, right? And then if a little bonus, I would get this graveyard units down here as a bonus. That was my goal from the start of the game. And he decided to place his King's Guard over here on the flank with his general and his runesmith. So all his point was basically in the furthest left side corner of the map here, which I was pretty surprised about. I was very happy to see it, because it allowed me to just march through there and try and take the objective. So that was kind of, and obviously I tried to hide my vulnerable things from his cannon, which was what my and this is wardens as well. So my wrecking team, they're gonna do absolutely nothing, right? So the idea was just to keep my wrecking team and 1 unit of my marauders to guard from his miners when they were gonna come in. Then the plan was that my 2 wrecking team would deal with them, and then these 3 units and these 2 units here would just move forward and try and take the objective. That's the very first plan of the game here. I had a lot of useless things in this matchup here. My piracy mate basically does nothing, right? He wounds on 5s against wardens that are Aegis 3, or against King's Garden that's armor 3. I mean, he's gonna land 0 wound on anything. Yeah. So this is his first turn. I think he also realized quickly he put this unit here in the he put that unit in the wrong corner, so he started immediately moving forward with this. So when I saw that, the idea was here to take the trolls. Maybe they should be placed a little bit more to the left side here, but take the trolls, put them in the corner down here. So if the orcs wanted to come this way here, turn over and prepare a flank attack to my big feral orcs units, then the trolls will step up and prepare flank attacks on them. So let's see how it all goes. So he starts. He moves up very far. He shoots. His cannon can't see anything. So he shoots my trolls. I managed to save both of them. Nothing really happens turn 1 here. So as you can see here, I'm just all out, keeping my wrecking team, preparing his miners to come. And the rest of the scoring units are just on their way. And the loner finds a sweet... This house is really good for the cannon, to hide from the cannons. So my loner basically have this kind of cone between the house and the cannons, where he can run freely, right? So I was really happy about this. So I'm just moving forward a lot. No spells, no nothing. Nothing happens really in turn my first turn. My catapult also, they can't do anything. I think I tried to hit the King's Guard, or maybe I went for the Wardens. I can't remember, but it couldn't matter any less. Oh, so he's turn 2 here. He keep on pushing forward, He still doesn't have any good targets. His crossbows, clansman crossbows, can't really hit anything. They're hitting on 7s or something like that. His wardens is, I think they're within range of my feral orcs now, and I think they do like 4 or 5 wounds to them, and that's about it. Not a whole lot happening here the first 2 turns here. So now my turn 2 here. Keep up the same plan as I had before here, and we're starting to create a little bit of a bottleneck here. So my iron orcs here, I was a little bit in doubt what I wanted to do with my iron orcs. Would I rather want to just have them look towards the King's Guard here, turning around, and just have them look this way, or would I want to try and put them into the victory zone here? And I decided with the last one. I don't know which one is the best. Maybe it would have been better to look at these guys here and maybe start shooting some of the wardens off. Yeah, I don't know. And here I make a little minor mistake down here with my wrecking team here. For some reason I suddenly decided to go against my original plan, and I started to move my wrecking team this way here. My wrecking team should just have been right here, but it was already, and then I would have been able to protect this little corner down here. But I decided to go a different pass here. Magic, nothing happens. Maybe I shoot like a ranger with one of my spells, and that's about it. And this is his turn 3, right? So the minus pops up here in a fairly annoying position, right? Ready to shoot my marauders here, and just out of range. I tried to put him, giving as much range as possible, but it was actually pretty difficult. So it sort of ended up like this. As you can see here, he was in doubt what to do with these King's Guards. Should they look towards the trolls, or should they look towards the feral orcs here? And I think he sort of ends up doing a little bit of both here at his turn 3 here. And then at the turn 4, he has to make a choice. Does he want to try and hit the trolls, get into his point zone, my deployment zone, to secure at least one scoring unit down here, potentially 2 units with the wardens, and try and see if he can stop 3 of my units over here. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Anyway, not much happened here. In his turn 3 here, he shoots a little bit again. As you can see, I think he's killed like 10 feral orcs or something like that, and that's about it. And so my turn 3 here, I'm finally reaching my destination, the deployment zone of my opponent here, right? Oh yeah, he shoots down here. This is like a battle that went on within the big battle. So his minus shoots my marauders, and miraculously he only kills one of them. It's not miraculous because they're throwing weapons, right? So it's 20 shots hitting on 5s. So that's like what, 7? Then wounding on 4s. That's like 3.5. And then I'm saving on 4s. So what's that? 1.5. So I guess it's not entirely impossible for me to only lose 1. But it's on the good side. I got lucky here. I only lost 1. So I could turn him around and start looking at him at least. And then my wrecking team also rolled pretty high, so I was pretty sure I was gonna hit at least with one of my wrecking teams. was gonna hit his minus next turn. So even if I would lose the battle here with my Marauders here, I would still be able to cross him before he could take my, hopefully, before he could take down my war machines. And here in the other front here, as you can see here, my Ferox charges, and my Orc Warlord, my loner, finds a sweet spot here. The reason he goes here is because to prevent the Greybeards from being able to do a good charge. I think if I roll a really sweet spot here, like a low number, I think I was able to do some sort of, I think I could block him maybe, he couldn't charge me. I can't really remember why, but I thought it was a decent place to put him. What do we have next here? So obviously I killed the Rangers, right? And I was pretty lucky, yeah. So this is his turn 4, right? And the Ranger, they managed to be, there was one Ranger left, and he ran, I think he ran just like exactly 7. So the Greybeards could not charge my, because this one was in the way, the Ranger was in the way, so he couldn't charge my Ferox, so he had to, so instead he decided to go into the defense mode here and generate some ranks and hope he could hold the line while he retreated his Rangers here with his BSB, and then he decided to push off here. He decided to go for my Ferox here instead of the Trolls. So as you can see here, my Trolls is actually in a somewhat delicious position here, right? It's tempting to charge, but he does have his king here who do D3 wounds with flaming attack, so my Trolls actually have no business being in combat with this unit here. So for now they're just looking here, and my new plan here is waiting for the King's Guard to pass, and then hopefully my Trolls can sweep behind them and try and threaten maybe the Wardens, maybe the Clan Maskmen, or do something. And do something maybe. And what's also troubling me here is the so his turn again. His shooting is pretty terrible. Nothing really happens. I lose things. So in my turn 4, right? Yeah, because I don't think you can see it here, but I actually decided to turn this unit here around to prepare. In my turn 3, I decided to turn this unit to look this way here, because I was expecting him to come this way here. So I wanted to prepare a front attack, which was maybe a mistake. I don't know yet, but I think it was a mistake because it also forced me to have to roll a frenzy check. So and also, yes, I forgot to mention in his turn 3 he also got an important spell through. That was the thing that could do the magical moves. So he moved the King's Guard 8 inches up to my Ferox here. So now they were just like right in the face of my Ferox, and I had to do a leadership 8 rerollable frenzy check, right, maximized. And if I fail that one, I would lose my Shaman Mage, and this whole unit will obviously die to his King's Guard. And that's why I probably should have looked this way here. So or maybe that was why I moved the loner to here, so I could prevent the frenzy here. So I couldn't charge with this unit here, so this unit here didn't have to do frenzy check. Maybe that was the idea. Anyway, so my turn 4 here, as you can see, I failed my frenzy check. I call walk this turn. I call walk right here to make sure I don't fail this charge here on the Greybeards. I only needed like a 3, but I thought if I was gonna fail that was gonna be really bad for me, right? So I really didn't want to fail that. So I decided to call walk here, walk right here, and yeah, just play safe. So as you can see here, I failed my frenzy check and I am forced into charging the King's Guard here. If I didn't fail my frenzy check, right, I could have just went out with my level 1 wizard, my apprentice shaman mate, chaffed off the unit for one more turn, and then I could have brought myself one more turn against these King's Guard here, potentially even two, which would have been obviously really good because like this unit is really strong, right? Down here I'm pretty confident. Oh, let me just speak about one last turn here. He's turn 4, right? He 3, 4. He charges down here, right, with his minus to my marauders. And as you can see here, in my turn 4 here, I actually managed to make them flee. I think he rolled really bad. He has paired weapons, right? So he has 15 attacks. He hits me on 3s because he's offensive 5. With 50, that should be 10 hits, right? And then he wounds me on 4s. That should be 5 wounds with AP 1. So I should take at least 2.5 wounds on average. He managed to do only 1 wound. And I managed to do a few wounds back, and he failed his panic check. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. Which saved this whole bottom quadrant of my army. Because I mean, if he had killed my marauders, yeah, of course I could have. My weapon team would most likely been able to stop him. A double up weapon team should they probably be able to kill like 10 minus, but I would still lose 200 points. I didn't need to lose. Now I lost 100 point anyway because he ran into one of the wrecking teams. But anyway, let me get back to the more exciting part up here. So the King's Guard here, not the King's Guard, but these Great Beards. I managed to get a charge with my Loner and my Lord and some Pharaohs. And he's dead. That's about what happens. And this turn here I decide to cast all my spells on his on my own Pharaohs and his King's Guards, and I get like 3 spells through, and he let them all through, and then I forgot everything. He had that whatever rune it's called that removes all spells that's in combat with this guy here. So I completely wasted my magic phase here, but it was what it is. Turns out I didn't need it anyway, because I managed to kill the Great Beards pretty hefty, pretty nicely. I mean, I probably should, because my Lord had 8 attacks in that round, and I had my Loner who had a lot of attacks as well, and it was my combat to win. So I managed to make them flee, overrun with both my Pharaohs and my Iron Orc Loner here. And my Pharaohs leave the map, and my Iron Orc Loner is looking into 2 cannons. So see here, this is I think I made a decent mistake by charging with my Iron Orc Loner here, because I'm pretty sure that even without the Iron Orc Loner I would be able to kill this unit of Greybeards without much help. And then I could have saved, and then I didn't have to risk having to take 2 shots from the cannons and pray that my Iron Orc Loner wouldn't die to those 2 shots. I could just have kept them here, and I could even have chaffed the King Guards for 1 turn, because he can actually tank the king, because the king is only AP 3. So I could probably tank the king for quite a while. But anyway, I decided to charge along with him, and it goes something like this. My turn here, of course he kills my big unit Pharaohs, and my next turn here. Oh, so he shot with both his cannon here, right? And I managed, he missed both shots, which was very nice and lucky. And that was his turn 5. My turn 5. As you can see here, my Iron Orcs, in case you're wondering, they're looking that way. Outside of the board, they're looking somewhere. I don't know where they're looking, but that's where they're looking. So that was basically what I used the units for. It's just pure point unit here, scoring dot unit here. And the same do my mortars. They're looking into the abyss of the board. I think I was able to this way here. I was able to generate a distance. He needed a 12 to hit my marauders, and my Iron Ox was outside of range of his King's Guard. My loner, after being really lucky to survive, runs over here, and I'm trying to prepare the final charge on one thing, so I can clean up. He only has one turn left here, and there's nothing really he can do with his last turn. I mean, he can shoot his cannon into my Ferox or into my trolls, and that's about it. So I think I do a smart move here in my turn 5 here. So I think what he did in his turn 5, that he was preparing these wardens. He planned to give them a flee path here. I was standing here, right, in my turn 5, in my turn 4. So he moved up here, and he like tried to bait me to charge the wardens, and then he would declare a flee, and then he would counter charge me with his maskman, right? And then he would rally his wardens, because they would be leadership 9 with rerollable. So he would rally them, and I wouldn't get points for them. So I didn't want that to happen. So instead of charging my turn 5, I just put my face up as close to these wardens as I possibly could, making sure that the charge from the clan unit was impossible. And then I would charge them in the turn 6. So if he did decide to flee with his unit in turn 6, I would still get half point with him if I couldn't reach them, or if I couldn't redirect into another unit. So that was the kind of plan about this one here, and then I set up the last attack for my Ferox. I put them in so I could choose myself. I could choose to either charge the cannon, or I could choose to go for these rangers here, or the clansmen after that. And then I put my loner here, so preparing a flank charge here, combined with hopefully the trolls. I realized I had to pass a leadership 6 check to do a redirect charge into the to the clanmen. But I thought, I mean, there was nothing for me to lose, so I thought that was just a decent idea. So my turn 5, obviously no magic happens. So he's turn 6, right? He try and make the charge for my marauders. He fails. He decides to chaff my Ferox. But there's one thing he doesn't do. He didn't chaff of my Lord here. So my Lord can actually charge out solo here. And my Iron Orc loner can get into here. So if I'm a little bit lucky, right? Just a little bit lucky here. These trolls here need to go on like a really crazy killing spree, right? They are 4+, they are cave trolls, so they are 4+ armor save against shooting. So but what they need to is to charge these wardens, hope I don't lose a single troll, try to charge into these clan maskmen, which I need to clear a leadership 6 check before I can redirect. And then I can actually have my Lord, my loner, and all my trolls into this unit here. And if I manage to save, if my opponent only managed to do what, 5 wounds? No, 4 wounds, then I will still have 2 ranks, which means I would actually only have to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would only have to kill 8 clan maskmen to remove his stop-on, and then Paradise will crawl upon me, right? Like because obviously the wardens have to flee, because if they don't flee and fight this combat, I will get a flank charge into these guys here. So he has to flee. So if they flee and I manage to get into these clanman masks and I manage to make them flee, then I will also be able to hit the wardens here. I will be able to catch the wardens here with either my Ferox or with my loner. Maybe I will be able to catch him. His PSP here is a little bit in the way here, but at least that's what I was hoping for. But as you can see here, my turn 6, he do manage to kill 5 wounds to my trolls, which made them only have 1 rank, which then sort of made it impossible to break the steadfast, right? But I do manage to kill, like I think I was only needed to kill 2 more to actually take the last rank off him, which would allow me to kill the last things I needed. So it wasn't really, but he at the end he saved his clan maskman. I couldn't kill him, so in the end you could have argued maybe I should have just charged the minus to get a few extra points here, but I thought if I could kill the maskman I would get like 600, 500 points. I think they have something like 500 points or so, and I thought it was worth the risk. So yeah, this is the end of the battle here. As you can see here, my plan actually kind of succeeded, right? I did, if you take a look here at my turn, what is it, turn 4? Or, yeah, his turn 4. As you can see here, my plan was to get these units into this area here, which is check. My plan was to zone these Kingsguard away with my trolls, which is check. My plan was to stop his miners with my wrecking team and my marauders, which looking back at it, I got really lucky down here and could potentially have lost everything here. So looking back at it, maybe I could have saved 1 unit of marauders and kept them down here, but maybe I would then put too much money into stopping miners. I don't know, but I think I got lucky down here. And what else to say, right? I think John he also mentioned it after the game that he think he deployed his deployment was a big mistake. Obviously the Kingsguard deploying on the left flank here, not being able to do anything really for 6 turns. He did kill 1 unit of Ferrorocks, right? But I mean, they're supposed to do more than that. The Ferrorocks are only worth 450 points. The Mage is 130. So what, 600 points they take, and that's and this unit is worth like 1600 or something like that. Yeah. So, but not a very bloody battle here, bloody game here. At the end, it's 15-5 to me because I take the objective. So I do 12. I kill 1200 points of him, and he kills 700 of me, right? So it's only really a 500 difference in points. Not really a bloody battle here, but that was honestly, as I mentioned at the start when we looked at the list, I mean, these dwarves infantry are just so, I think they're underpriced. I mean, I don't think I have a single infantry unit here that can actually deal with his infantry, except when my lords back my infantry up. But then again, if his character back his infantry up, then he still kills me. Overall, I think they're really strong, the dwarves here. But yeah. And anyway, this was the end of the battle report here, and hopefully I will be able to make a new battle report when the next second game of the cripple comes up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay tuned.